When I was at school and I was a little girl, I was the daydreamer, but I was constantly being told off by teachers, Regan, stop daydreaming. Regan, focus. I was out. I was somewhere else. I was in a daydream. Maybe I was thinking about a past thing, but often not. Sometimes I was in a future thing. Sometimes I was in an alternate reality in my own head as a little 6-year-old. Guys, this is our natural state. We all know how to do this. I was constantly daydreaming, and I started playing these games with time. As a little girl, I would sit down and I would look at the clock and I would say, okay, it's 10 a.m. And then I would go and I'd play outside and I'd force myself to guess when it was 10 minutes later. And then I'd run back inside and see how close I got to being 10 past 10 without looking at the time in between. I started getting really good at that little game. And then I started doing some other things. I started going, well, okay, maybe at 11 o'clock I can go outside and I can feel when it's going to be 10 minutes, but what if I make it go faster? And I speed it up and then I come in and then it's 10 past 11. I started doing that and then I started trying other things. I said, what if I go outside, but I slow down the time? Now, these at the time were just fun games in my own head, but something interesting started happening. I started shifting and molding my relationship with time without knowing it. My perception of time became more lucid. It became more malleable, almost like a rubber band. It started stretching in and out. And something interesting started happening that really freaked out my parents a lot. I started perceiving events that were going to happen before they happened. And for me, it was normal. I thought everyone could do that. I thought everyone could play with their reality and see things and feel things and just know they're going to happen and it's going to happen this way. I remember I must have been 6, nearly 7 years old. And I woke up and I looked at my clock. It was 3 a.m. and I knew my grandma is going to die. I ran into my parents' room. I woke them up. I said, Mommy, Daddy, Nana's going to go. She's going now. She's ready to go. They said, honey, go back to sleep. Like, Nana's not sick. She's totally fine. She passed away at that exact time, an hour later from when I ran into that room. And she didn't have any prior health complications or problems. I thought it was some sort of gift. What I didn't realize is that it was actually a set of skills that I was exploring with and playing with that anyone can actually tap into.
This woman is an anomaly. Harper's Bazaar magazine featured her on the cover and said she's the author of the world's #1 manifestation method. And as I got to know her story, I got blown away by what she pulled off. Get this, just less than 10 years ago, this woman had only $8 in her bank account. Today, she has 600 acres of land in Costa Rica where she's building her own resort empire. She has a business that does over $42 million a year. And every aspect of her life seems to be blessed by remarkable luck, from the incredible man that she's recently gotten married to the transformation that she's experiencing even in her physical body. What makes Regan Hillier the woman she is? She says it is the set of rules, principles, and ideas on mind over reality that she got to learn through a series of mentors over the last decade. And in this video presentation, we're going to be sharing some of those ideas with you. My name is Vishen Lakhiani. I'm the creator of Mindvalley, the world's biggest personal transformation company. Mindvalley has 20 million followers globally, and I've interviewed close to 1,000 luminaries in every aspect of improving the human experience. When it comes to manifesting, the idea that our minds can influence our body and reality and move us in a much easier way towards our goals, one name stands out, and it's Regan Hillier. So I got Regan to sit down with me and take us through her story because there's so many gems of wisdom in the story itself, and to also share with us some of the key principles that she trains the thousands of people she works with on how to manifest better. CEOs pay this woman up to $1 million a year just to help them manifest their dream life. Now, the crazy thing is this. Before Regan became the person that you see on all of these magazine covers, her life was an absolute mess. And I want you to listen to her story because perhaps you're going through some period of your life right now that is far from ideal. Maybe heartbreak. Maybe you're at a financial ceiling. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you're going through a health issue. If you're going through any of these issues, listen to Regan's story because you'll see how you might be able to overcome these.
My life absolutely was a mess. I remember when I was living in an amazing apartment in Melbourne. I had started a company, it was starting to do well, and I was going about my normal morning. I'd made my cup of coffee and I saw this letter slide under the door. I thought, why is a letter coming under the door? It should go to the post office. And so I grabbed the letter and I opened it and I started to read, and I felt absolutely sick to my stomach. The letter said that I had 48 hours to get out of the apartment. I was being evicted. And I thought to myself, this can't be right. And so I logged onto my internet banking to check why the rent payment hadn't gone through, and I realized that I had $8.70 left in my bank account. I started to panic. My heart was racing. I thought to myself, I can't tell all of my friends and family that have been telling me I'm going to fail that I'm in this situation. I called one of my friends that I trusted in Melbourne. His name was Theo. And I explained to him what was happening. And I said, I don't have anywhere to sleep. Could I come and stay with you? And he said, yes, but I have a 1-bedroom apartment. You can sleep on my couch. I said, okay, I'll take it. And I turned up there and I was sitting on this couch whilst my friend paid for my food. And I had my head in my hands. And I just remember thinking to myself, how did I get here? The vision of my life that I was trying to manifest was so big and so grand and so exciting, yet I was so far from that. I had lost everything. I had no money. I was in a place where I was extremely unhealthy. I was working so hard trying to make everything work that I was barely eating, to the point where I developed an eating disorder and I used to just collapse on the floor. I was having upwards of 8 coffees a day. I started going deep into learning wealth creation strategies. I studied Forex trading, how to trade .com businesses, sales and marketing. I went to so many different wealth conferences, but nothing was actually working. I was trying to start businesses and they were failing. I was stressed out. I was time poor. I was still unhealthy. I was lost. I was broke, and I was confused. And then one thing happened that changed everything. I knew I had to do something different to get a different result in my life. So out of total desperation, I enrolled into a wealth creation event. This event was $5,000. I did not have $5,000. I borrowed money and put it on a credit card, but I was committed to being there. But something very interesting happened, and I later realized why it was extremely important for me to be at this event. I was sitting near the back of the room because I was also one of the youngest people in the room. I felt like I didn't fit in at all. And I was sitting there and this older man came and sat next to me. He must have been in his mid-60s. He was wearing a beautiful blue jacket, and little did I know that this man, whose name was Simon, was actually one of the consultants and mentors to some of the greatest teachers when it comes to mindset, manifestation, and personal development. And we were sitting there, and in this moment, I felt safe with him. And I started sharing with him the reality of where I was at in my life. It's like it all spilled out of me all at once. And he could tell that I was right on the edge of giving up. I said to him, Simon, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I'm not cut out for this dream life that I'm creating on these vision boards. And he said something that completely flipped my reality. He said, Regan, don't you realize anything that you desire to create and manifest in your life, you have to do it a specific way. He said, right now, you're pushing, you're hustling, you're working so hard, but you're putting all that energy in the wrong direction. You're totally focused on all the action that you're taking and everything outside of you. He said, Regan, it's 80% about your mind, your spirit, and your energetics. What are you doing about that? And I realized that I had no idea what he actually meant by that. So that sent me off on a whole new path. I kept meeting up with Simon, and every time I connected with him, he started laying out protocol after protocol after protocol, step by step. And I was a good student. I took notes, I wrote it down, and I applied it. At the same time, I started going deeper into NLP and hypnosis and started working with other mentors. And something really interesting started happening. My life started changing fast. Everyone laughed at me for going deep into manifestation practices. Everyone laughed at me when I said I was working on myself. Everyone laughed at me when I started learning tools such as NLP and hypnosis and energy work. However, I went from $8.70 to over $1 million in 1 year before I was 23 years old. So I thought to myself, well, if that's possible, then what else could I create in my life? So I continued on. I created a branding company, a dating education company. I generated multiple millions of dollars. And then I decided, what if I could manifest even more time in my life to actually do what I really, really, really love? So I started playing with that. And I got to a place where I was 27 years old and I was only working 3 to 4 hours a day maximum. So with this time freedom, I started traveling around the world. And I was living an amazing life at that time, except one area of my life wasn't going well. It was my heart. I was actually in an extremely abusive relationship, and nearing the end of that relationship, I knew that I had to make a choice. I had to get out of there, and I had to get really, really, really clear on manifesting the love that I knew I deserved. I was manifesting wealth, freedom, time freedom, so many things, but for some reason, I had forgotten that I could actually manifest my soulmate. And so I sat down with the same protocols, the same tools, but I applied them to my heart. I applied them to the area of love. And 2 weeks after I left that previous abusive relationship, I manifested my soulmate. I was at an entrepreneurs festival and I connected with my now husband, Wampa, on the very last day of the very last minute. Now, his story on this is different. He says that he followed me around for those 3 or 4 days and then we connected, but I saw him at that very last moment. The minute I saw him, my heart knew. My mind was worried because I didn't think I was ready to receive a manifestation that quickly. I'd only left that relationship 2 weeks ago, but my soul knew that this was divine synchronicity and it was aligned. 2.5 years later, we got married and now we live in this beautiful estate in Costa Rica, over 600 acres of paradise, of jungle, of waterfalls, fruit trees everywhere. And what is really beautiful is that when we came together, I got a stepson, Daniel. Daniel was an amazing young man and also very curious. He would always ask me, what am I working on? How did I do it? He had so many questions. And so I started teaching him a lot of the tools and protocols and practices, and he started applying them to his own life as a teenager. In fact, his company made over $100,000 by the time he was 17. Daniel's also being published and featured in Forbes magazine all around the world, and he's created an online community to bring other teams together to live better lives. And right now, he's only 18. So people were watching me completely change my life. And very organically, people started coming to me saying, can you help me as well? And at first, I didn't really want to help them because I wasn't sure if the things that I was doing would actually work for them. I had only tried them on myself. And so I kept going deeper and really refining the tools and the practices that I was using. And then I decided to work with a very small handful of people. These were 10 people that had been asking me for help. So I started sharing the practices, the methods, and the protocols. And the strangest thing happened. They started coming back to me and thanking me because they were completely changing their lives. And when I saw that it was working, I went even deeper into the tools, even deeper into the protocols. I started creating my own methods around this. And I built this into a whole series of work called the Energetic Architecture Method. This method is what I use in the Mindvalley Quest, The Art of Manifesting, but more on that later.
So as Regan went deep into these principles, she started noticing that there were 3 primary reasons that people don't truly manifest what they want.
So the first reason is called the broken radio syndrome. This is what is happening when there's a frequency mismatch between you and what you're looking to manifest. Just like when you're trying to tune the radio to get the signal to hear it, but you can't, and it sounds scratchy and horrible and you just want to turn it off, many people are living their life like that. Now, this frequency mismatch happens when your internal reality is not conditioned to be effectively wired to where you're actually going. And this shows up in the form of limiting beliefs, negative constructs, stuck emotions, self-sabotage patterns, and so many other pieces within your internal reality, which actually block you, stop you, and slow you down from manifesting what you desire with ease and with grace. So to solve this problem, I started teaching people how to tune their inner radio. I started teaching people how to shift and recalibrate their frequency from the inside out in order to become an energetic match for what they're calling in. Now, when you learn how to do this, your manifestations show up in a way where it's fast and easy simply because you're in sync with what is coming towards you.
And this is just the first problem. And I can vouch for this. I witnessed this myself right here on stage yesterday in front of 800 people. Several students of Regan, we asked them to come on stage and share their stories. This is what they shared.
I signed a contract of $165K within 3 weeks. I manifested the relationship with my soulmate and we just got engaged.
I actually manifest writing and publishing a book. I'm not 17, okay, but I made it.
So I was manifesting 1 book, but it turned out to be 3, and it's expanding to become a membership site as well.
Wasn't that amazing?
Right.
And I know you must be so proud to be able to shift so many lives. But there's a second principle.
The second problem that people face is called the identity mismatch. When we have this identity mismatch, this often shows up by you working really hard and often even doing tools and practices when it comes to manifestation, but the results just don't show up for you, or they take a really, really, really long time. Now, we don't get in life what we do. We get in life who we choose to be. If we got what we do, then all the people working long hours right now would be living their dream life, but that's just not the reality. So when you learn how to deal with the mismatch in identity and you learn how to actually recode your identity from the inside out, you start being the version of you that naturally and effortlessly attracts whatever it is that you desire into your life and into your reality. The minute you crack the code on this problem, you notice that your results accelerate and you're able to bring the version of you to the table that naturally manifests what you desire.
And this is another reason why we get so many letters from people who have studied Reagan's program on Mindvalley, The Art of Manifesting, about all the incredible things that they are bringing into their lives. But listen carefully, because there's a third principle that you have to understand. And this is really cool. It affected my life profoundly.
The third problem that people really face when it comes to manifesting is actually their relationship with time. Many people manifest what they want in their life, but how long does it take them? Then there's people out there that seem to quantum leap their reality and manifest huge things in their life really, really, really quickly. Now, here's what most people do. They wait out the next year, the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to gradually evolve into a higher, more conscious version of themselves. And then there's people that I work with that take these principles and say, you know what? I don't want to wait 5, 10, 20 years. I want to access that version of me right now in order to then create the external reflections in my life and in my reality. If you don't have a profound and deep relationship with time, if you don't understand how to bend time, if you don't understand how to collapse time so that your manifestations can come in faster, then time is altering you. You can choose to alter time, but you need to know how to actually overcome this problem first. And when you do, you start realizing that goals that you set for maybe 12 months can show up in 6 months or 3 months, or maybe in 1 month or sooner. So when you understand how to use this tool, you're able to literally import the information from your future and integrate that into your consciousness in order to bring an entirely different version of you to the table each and every single day.
So you've now learned some of the corrective principles that turn you from struggling to really manifesting the life of your dreams. But we can go further. There are approaches and techniques that Reagan developed that she trains people all around the world on, including me. In fact, Reagan is one of the few coaches on the planet that command $1 million a year from her top clients. Yes, people pay her $1 million a year for direct coaching because of the results she gets many of these superstar clients. Listen to her explain some of the principles that she brings to her clients. So Reagan, take us through what you teach in your program.
Yes, so here are some of the tools that I teach people in order for them to become powerful manifestors. Firstly, I show people how to realign with their vision. So many people don't get what they actually desire in their life because they don't understand how to create an alignment with their vision. We are often not conditioned to think big because of the programming from our family, from society, from so many people that aren't supporting us in accelerating forward in our manifestations. And if we don't deal with this, what happens is that we default to the unconscious programs that are sitting underneath the surface. So I show people how to handle that and how to go in and create the vision for your life in any area of your life that is actually in alignment with your highest potential. One of the other things that I teach people is that I show them how to expand their capacity to receive. We can only receive what we have the capacity to hold energetically, in our minds, in every part of our being. Anything you're looking to manifest is just energy. Money, love, fulfillment, purpose, it's all energy, but can you hold it? This is why so many people might have a really big vision for their life, but they're not able to manifest it because they don't understand how to use this tool. You need to be creating the containers in your unconscious system in order to hold your manifestations. And when people learn how to do this, often they expand really quickly into the vision beyond their vision, the manifestation beyond their manifestation. And it starts happening really quickly because they're expanding into even more bigness when it comes to aligning to what they're manifesting. Another tool that I work with people with is showing them how to shift and clear their limitations. We always have limitations within us, no matter what level of life that we are playing at. And we have fears, we have self-doubt, we have limiting stories, we have unconscious programs, we have so many pieces that are blocking us, slowing us down and holding us back from manifesting what we desire. It's a little like you're in the car at this point and you're excited, you're driving towards your vision, you're so close, you can see what's beyond it, then all of a sudden you look in the rear vision mirror and you notice that all of your limits are hanging out in the back seat. The fear, the doubt, the worry, and it's almost like they come and they try and take over. They want you to get out of the car, they want you to stop driving, but you're at a choice point. You can either jump out of the car and say, oh, I'll just keep my life how it is, I don't want to manifest anything, I'm fine. Or you can choose to drive the car forward, dealing with those blocks and those limitations. I show you how to do that. And when people learn how to do this, they're able to stand on the stage even if their knees are shaking. They're able to say yes to that business deal even if they're doubting themselves. Still, they're able to move forward instead of letting these doubts, these blocks, these limitations consume them. One of the tools that I help people go deep with is the highest self recalibration. Now, we don't get in life what we do, but we do get who we choose to be. If we got in life what we did, then all the people working so many hours every single day would be living their dream life. The last time I checked, that's not the case. We get in life who we choose to be. Now here's what most people do. They wait out the next year, the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to gradually evolve into a higher, more conscious version of themselves. And then there's people that I work with that take these principles and say, you know what, I don't want to wait 5, 10, 20 years. I want to access that version of me right now in order to then create the external reflections in my life and in my reality. So when you understand how to use this tool, you're able to literally import the information from your future and integrate that into your consciousness in order to bring an entirely different version of you to the table each and every single day. And when you start doing this, things tend to happen fast. You learn how to bend time and space. You learn how to shift your future reality into the right now, and manifestation starts showing up faster than you even expected. One of the other tools that I work with is helping people ensure that they are taking massive aligned action. We take all of these internal practices and tools and protocols, and then you use them out in your life. You take the physical action, but where are you acting from? If you're acting from a misaligned frequency, then none of that action's gonna work. It won't count. So I show you how to shift and recalibrate your inner frequency, which changes the energetics of your entire system, which means that when you call that person, when you say yes to that business deal, when you meet that future lover, things line up energetically and you're supported because you're moving in an aligned way towards what you're manifesting, and it's happening faster and faster and faster.
There are approaches and techniques that Reagan developed that she trains people all around the world on, including me. In fact, Reagan is one of the few coaches on the planet that command $1 million a year from her top clients. Yes, people pay her $1 million a year for direct coaching because of the results she gets. Now, that's when Mindvalley decided to team up with Reagan after seeing how effective her teaching methodology was. And I've been working with her since 2017. In 2023, we released Reagan's new program on Mindvalley, The Art of Manifesting. All of these principles, all of these tools are put together in a comprehensive 27-day journey where over 20 minutes a day and 27 days, you learn to become a master manifester. Now, when we got this out to the world, very rapidly, it became the #1 program on Mindvalley out of 100 programs. So let's get real. The world today has trained you. Our broken education system has told us that it's all about the physical, right? That the way to success, the way to money is all about striving, pushing, hard work. That's somewhat true, but that's only 20% of results. 80% is your spirit and your mind. And any successful person who has nailed it will say the same thing. When you correct your mindset, when you bring in the spiritual energy that's inherent in all of us, we gain a new way to create our own reality. This is what you learn in this incredible program, the missing piece in our education system. It took us years to identify Reagan. It took us years to build this program because we wanted to get it right. We started seeking and putting together manifesting programs as early as 2017, but nothing could deliver the results that Reagan was getting with her clients. No program could inspire people at the same level that this woman had. Check out this footage of her on stage just recently and look at the massive standing ovation.
Wait. Stand and embrace this. People are still standing for you. Thank you, Reagan Hillier.
Thank you.
Reagan changes lives. And ask yourself, what would it be worth to you to suddenly gain the tools to manifest just about anything you want? Because remember, once you learn manifesting, you don't just apply it to one thing. You can apply it to money, to health, to love, to freedom, to pursuing your dreams, to waking up every day in the best emotional states. You can apply it to change the lives of your family and friends. Check out some of these incredible stories from users all around the world. Char L. from Kelowna, Canada, wrote and published a 50,000-word book. And not only that, but she said, I've booked speaking engagements for May with the intent of having published books with me to sell. Gerald Savage used this in his trading business. He said, last night, I started knowing something big was going to happen as I was going through the program. Today, I placed my first trade. Guess what? Over 80% return on that one trade. Vincent Lelo says that he started seeing money pop up unexpectedly. Well, so far for me this year, received $7,151.65 totally unexpected, without any work involved from 2 sources. What next is possible? Mandy Gibbener listened to the audios from the program. Within 24 hours of doing that, I had a 6-month one-to-one coaching client sign up with me. Anne Wilchcock said this helped her smash all of her goals in the gym. Her physical therapist asked her, what have you been doing to gain so much strength? She was inspired by Reagan using manifesting to transform her body and musculature. And of course, there's hundreds more stories on our website. Now, with all of these amazing stories, you can see how powerful this program is. And what I want to do is, if you are even somewhat curious about how to manifest your craziest dreams, I want to invite you to jump into the art of manifesting. Now, let me explain how the program works. The program is broken into 7 parts, and I'm going to ask Regan to explain these 7 parts to you.
So we start out with part number 1 and we go into the fundamentals of manifesting. This is really important so that everything else can build on this. We break down what manifestation actually is, and you learn the fusion between the science and the art of manifesting and how you can then practically apply that before we go into the more advanced sections. We then go into part 2, which is powerful visioning, and I show you how to unlock the vision that's waiting for you, a vision that's actually in alignment with your soul and your highest potential. This is not just about creating a vision board and hoping it will happen. These are practical tools and strategies that work really, really, really fast. Part number 3, we go into expanding your capacity to receive. I take you deep into your energetic field using the energetic architecture method and show you how to not just establish containers in your unconscious energetic reality, but how to expand them. And when you learn how to do this, you learn how to actually manifest on a higher level. You learn how to call in the dream beyond your dream, the vision beyond your vision, and how to expand your consciousness so that you can become the version that can actually hold higher level manifestations. Part 4 is all about overcoming resistance. All humans have blocks and limitations which are stopping them, slowing them down, or holding them back from manifesting what they desire. And so we look at how to recognize those blocks and those limits, and then how to alchemize them, how to shift them, how to transform them into useful energy that actually propels you forward. Part 5 is all about stepping into the next version of you. I show you how to access your highest self from 5, 10, or even 20 years or more into your future. And I show you how to actually import that information into your consciousness right now, so you can walk and talk and think and act in a way where it aligns your manifestations for coming in faster. And then we go into part 6, which is about accelerating your physical results. This is where we get into some of the even more advanced techniques. It becomes not a question of will my manifestation happen, but when will it happen? And then the last part number 7, is all about locking in your future. You'll see through this program that manifestation is not something you just do for a few days and then leave it. Manifestation is a lifestyle. It's a way of being. And choosing to become a master manifester is a choice, and it's a set of skills that you will tap into in this program and then have for life. This is why people that go through this program don't just transform one area of their lives, they transform multiple areas of their lives, and they come back and use the tools in different ways in different areas. And this last part ties it all together. It integrates everything and accelerates your manifestations, and then sets you up to manifest even more magic into your life.
Now, this program is constructed in a really unique way. Not only is it going to be speaking to your logical mind, not only are you going to learn the principles, but Regan also speaks to your subconscious mind. In fact, within this program is a really interesting 8-hour audio that you listen to as you're sleeping. Regan, tell us what this does.
So what this does is that when you go to sleep, your conscious mind shuts down, and we start playing this track to reprogram your unconscious reality. So the best thing is that whilst you're sleeping, your entire system is being upgraded, and you're training yourself how to become a master manifester whilst you're asleep.
Now, at this point, it's a no-brainer to enroll in this program, and you're probably wondering about the price. Now, a program like this could sell in the thousands, but because of Mindvalley's mission to get 1 billion people onto our platform, and because of the economies of scale from being the world's largest publisher, of transformational education, we're able to bring this price down to the number that you see on the page below. Simply scroll down, and what you're seeing here is a discounted price only available right now as a thank you for you investing the time to watch this video presentation. All you have to do is click the button to enroll. And I want you to know this. You don't even have to make up your mind right now. All you have to do is say maybe, because Mindvalley's famous 15-day guarantee applies here. In other words, as soon as you click enroll, you have 15 days to go through the entire program. You can literally complete this program. And at the end of it, you can decide that if you don't so much as like the design of the cover, you just have to go to your Mindvalley account, click cancel, and get a full refund. We call this the one-click refund. You do not have to call a phone number. You do not have to write an email. It's completely in your power. With one click, you give yourself a refund. So you have everything to gain and absolutely nothing to lose. You can take this entire program at no risk and refund it if you feel this wasn't to your highest expectation, and you have 15 days. This is why Mindvalley has become the world's #1 brand for transformation. Check out this video from CNN.
Transforming the lives of 1 billion people is the aim of Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mindvalley. I absolutely love this app, Mindvalley. And this app really did change my life.
This is Zain Asher, the CNN correspondent, talking about how Mindvalley changed her life. We didn't pay a PR company to get us on CNN. Zain Asher, the famous correspondent, had her life changed so profoundly by Mindvalley. She asked CNN to bring me on to interview me about the platform. You can catch this video on the front page of mindvalley.com. And this is just one of 20,000 case studies available on our website from people all around the world, world-famous athletes, world-famous actors, even politicians who have used this platform to dramatically improve their lives. So I hope you see that you are getting the world's #1 manifesting program on the world's #1 transformation platform with the world's #1 manifesting teacher, and you are getting a discounted price so you can try this out. You may be thinking this sounds too good to be true. Well, I'll tell you why we do this. We want to build a platform that you will be a member of for life. So we're hoping that when you jump on this platform, you fall so in love with the education that you get that every year you continue being a subscriber. Just like very few people cancel their Netflix subscription because of the sheer volume of entertainment and content that you get, we give you incredible amounts of training and transformation, but it's not entertainment. This is the stuff that truly changes your life. And we know that to change 1 billion people, we got to get the pricing really affordable. We got to get the quality really high. And we got to make this such a part of your life that you want to start every day with your Mindvalley transformation. And here's where we come to the best part. You see, if it isn't apparent to you right now, you're not just getting one program. I'm sure you'll agree that anything under $500 for a program like this is super valuable, and you're getting a much lower price. But you don't just get one program. You get all 100 plus programs on Mindvalley included. So you can dive in and start with Reagan's Art of Manifesting. But then you can go into other programs. Perhaps you want to master energy healing with Donna Eden, maybe speed reading with Jim Quick, maybe 10X to help you get the body of your dreams. Maybe you want to go into the Silva Ultramind program from the famous Silva method. Perhaps you want to go into chakra healing, or you want to attract your soulmate with Catherine Woodward Thomas's Calling in the One, or you want to increase your abundance with the #1 manifesting program for money, Unlimited Abundance. Everything is unlocked for you. Our goal is to create members such as yourself who love Mindvalley, that you give us 20 minutes extra a day rather than just scrolling Instagram mindlessly or being hooked on Netflix. And imagine the person you will be at the end of a week, and 2 weeks, and a month, and 1 year. You see, this isn't just about you. This is about turning you into the next Reagan Hillier, turning you into a person who can inspire your children, who can be in the most healthy relationship so you can act as a beacon of light for others, inspiring you to be the person who can transcend and elevate at whatever job or entrepreneurial venture you dive into so you can make your impact on the world. And that's why we make this platform so affordable. So as you can see, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. All I ask you to do is to scroll down below. Now the decision is in your hands. You can choose to continue living life as you've always lived life, pushing, struggling, waiting for that big break. Or you can choose to live a life where it almost seems as if you can bend reality, where you feel lucky, where life feels easy. And if you feel this life is for you, then all I ask you to do is to scroll down below, click enroll, and try this program out for 15 days. Thank you, Reagan. Thank you for joining us. I will see you in the art of manifesting.